Hi guys, welcome back to this Manchester City Retro Career Mode. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and with you today we have episode 6 with games at home to Colchester and away at Luton Town. Having looked at the league table, we are doing very well. We've already secured our playoff place, but if we win our next two matches, we will secure promotion into the first division, which is why I have brought you back for these two games in particular. Two wins secures that top spot, and then hopefully we will get our budgets come through for next season, so we know exactly what we've got to deal with, ready for the transfer window over the summer period. As you can see, Fulham remain 7 points behind us. They've dropped off with a draw in a recent match, so it's still tight there, but hopefully we can continue with this run of form and we can, after securing promotion, focus on bringing home that league title. So we've got nothing really further to report in terms of the squad, so we'll get straight into it with the home game against Colchester, and hopefully we'll get a good result which will secure this promotion in this game rather than having to wait until the next one. So for the first team squad, we've got Weaver in goal, we've got Chris Mackin at left back, with Morrison and Craddock in the centre, with Edgehill at right back. Feekins, Pollock and Kumas are going to be the midfield trio. Wright Phillips and Heaney either side of Sean Gota. Sean Gota is actually the league's top scorer at the moment with 40 league goals. He's been absolutely phenomenal for us. Hopefully he can get another couple today just to really press us forward. Hopefully we will play as well as we have been. In terms of our recent form, since the last two games against Preston and Chesterfield, we've won all of them bar one against Oldham Athletic away, which we drew 3-3. It was a really frustrating game. We went behind twice in that match, but we managed to fight back and salvage that 1 point. And as such, it has meant that with these two games, as I said previously, we have the opportunity to secure promotion. A very early opportunity there for Colchester from a free kick. It went just over the bar. So nothing on target so far. It's another free kick out wide for Colchester, and then it goes to Durzel. And Jason Durzel has opened the scoring here for Colchester. It's not what we wanted to see. We needed to be striking first in this game, really. So certainly there is work to do. We have a free kick at the other end with Neil Heaney on the edge of the penalty area. He looks to whip it in. I thought it took a slight deflection there, but it doesn't matter. It's a 19th goal of the season for Neil Heaney, and the free kick has meant that we have pegged them back immediately. And in terms of possession, again, we're dominating early on. Not created too many chances so far, but hopefully we can press on during this game. There is a lot more pressure on the team, of course, with the fact that we're looking to secure promotion. But I think with the quality we've got and the number of games we have left, we should be able to do so anyway. But hopefully we can do it sooner rather than later, just so that we can get focus on winning the league title then. And then we can look forward to next season. Well, despite it being 1-1, it's been quite a quiet first half. Right at the end here, Jamie Pollock's got a set piece. He looked to the far post. We didn't win possession there, but Wright Phillips has managed to get onto it again. Richard Edgehill knocks it over the top looking for Kumas. It's headed away by Brown, but Kumas has latched onto it again. And he's played it in towards Heaney, and it's come for Gota. He couldn't get a clear shot on it, and it's cleared away by the keeper. Adcock couldn't get there though. We have got a slight knock in the holding midfield role with Veekins, and Gota finds Wright Phillips, and that is an awful effort from Sean Wright Phillips. It's gone flying very high and very wide, and we will probably look to make a half-time substitution for Gerard Veekins. Last thing we need is a bad injury to our very important playmaker type player. As Heaney comes out wide left here, he has support in the centre. Gota to Wright Phillips into Edgehill. I'm not sure why they didn't shoot there, but it doesn't matter. Edgehill plays it into Gota, and he has made it 2-1. We've taken the lead right on half time. It's a very important time for us to be getting that goal, and we take a lead into the break. I think we'll just allow the players a little bit of leeway, but we don't want any complacency. We have started to dominate the game a bit more in terms of chance creation. We're holding on to the majority of possession again, and hopefully we can press home our advantage and get another goal. But it is Colchester who are pressing forward early on in this second half with Johnson into Durzil, who of course got that early goal for Colchester in this match. And Durzil out wide plays the cross into Wilkins at the far post. He's hit the crossbar. Jody Craddock manages to get it away, and it's out for a Colchester corner. I think, to be fair, Colchester have actually had the better of the chances, even though we've had more of them, which is a little bit frustrating. Forbes with the ball in, Weaver manages to stake a very good claim to that, and the highlight ends with that claim. So I think Gerard Vikings is going to have to come off. He has shaken off that knock for the most part. We've not got any details of it as of yet. Michael Brown is going to come on into that holding midfield role. Jody Craddock is currently on a yellow card as well. We're going to bring Luke Young on at centre back. And in terms of the rest of the side, we're not looking too bad in terms of fitness. Craig Russell is back in the side on the bench today. He's just about recovered from his broken ankle injury that he had earlier in the season. But I think for now, that will see us out nicely. And as we go into another highlight with Colchester having the ball at the back, Edgehill looking at getting in on Johnson there, and he's managed to win it back here, but he is on his own for the most part. He tried to play it in, looking for Gota, and it's comfortably cleared away. It remains 2-1. Sean Wright-Phillips looks like he needs to come off. He is struggling a little bit for fitness himself now. We are going to bring Craig Russell on. He is normally a left-hand sided player, but we're going to bring him on that right-hand side just to cover with Sean Wright-Phillips going off. And it is good to get him some minutes under his belt after that long injury layoff that he's had. Hopefully he can contribute a little bit in getting us a third goal. We've got a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area here, and Jamie Pollock finds Luke Young, and that is a phenomenal effort. And I think it clipped the crossbar from what it said there at the bottom. And hopefully, we were quite unlucky there, but hopefully we can continue in this form. Neil Heaney's picked up an injury, which is unfortunate. We're going to bring Wayne Bridge onto that left-hand side. Jamie Pollock and Andy Morrison are struggling. Jamie Pollock, in my opinion, is slightly more important in that role. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring Tony Vaughan on, push Michael Brown into the central midfield, and we'll put Tony Vaughan back a little bit, and we'll put Chris Mackin in that holding role in midfield for the time being. He's a tough tackler, Chris Mackin, despite his defensive frailties at times, but hopefully we should be able to see this game out. But that is a brilliant delivery, and Nicky Weaver makes a good claim there. Wilkins with the effort from that wide right hand side. There is space for one or two of the players out wide if Weaver can find them, but he decides to distribute to the defenders. But we're now with Wayne Bridge wide left, who switches it to Craig Russell into Sean Gota here. Sean Gota plays it into Craig Russell, and on his return from that big injury layoff, he has managed to get us a goal. He secures the victory here. Really good moment for him after that big layoff, and really positive performance from him, having come back into the side. It secures us the victory as we go into added time of 5 minutes. Colchester have the ball on this left-hand side from a throw-in. They're going to move it into the centre with Perry now. Back into Sale. As he looks over the top looking for Marlon Harewood. He's managed to win it and found Neil Gregory, who struck from distance, and it's a very, very good goal. Weaver couldn't get onto it. It was a very good finish from Neil Gregory. It's 3-2. And hopefully with just a few minutes remaining we can hold on, and that goal from Craig Russell has proven so vital here, and that is a really, really big goal from him. Really happy with that. Yes, a little bit frail defensively once again, but with that win it looks like we may have secured our promotion. We'll find out in a moment, and then we will come back shortly for the next game, which was against Luton away. That was it. So as we go through, I'm just going to have a quick look. Yep, so promotion has been secured. Stoke have confirmed a playoff spot, but I think by the looks of it they only managed a draw, which is why we've secured promotion. Really, really happy with that result. So with that promotion, we have our budgets that have come through for next season. Neil Heaney's out for 3 to 6 weeks with a twisted ankle injury. So with the budgets for next season, we've been given £350,000 in wage budget, and currently we're actually only spending, see if I can see where we're at here. Currently we're actually only spending about 88,500. They've given us £350,000 as wage budget, so it looks like we're going to be really able to splash out a little bit. And they've given us £57 million to spend. I wasn't expecting that at all. That is absolutely very generous from our board, and as you can see, the supporters are extremely happy with the fact that we've managed to get into the first division. So it looks like we've got plenty of business that could happen in the next transfer window, and with that, hopefully we will invest very, very well in some top young English talent, and in doing so we can improve the squad, but at the same time we can improve it for the future rather than for the here and now, which I think is just as important. We can get some players with experience in, but if we get some youngsters in as well, we should be able to develop a solid squad for the coming seasons. And remember, of course, with that all that transfer budget we have, we can only sign British and Irish players, and we can only sign foreign players that have played for City in real life before, so there is quite a restriction there, but I'm really looking forward to the challenge of that, especially with the amount of money that we actually have to spend there. So if you just bear with me a moment or two, we will come back for the Luton game because there's a couple of weeks in game just to get through, and then we will come back for that match. Okay, here we go for the away game against Luton. It took a little bit longer than I anticipated getting to the match. It actually got delayed because of international under 21s, so it was actually delayed by another week, so we were about 2.5 weeks of in-game time to get through before we got to the match. Having secure promotion, obviously the next target is to win the league. We cannot do it in this game, but what I'll do when I come back for the next episode, we'll do the last game of the season. Hopefully we'll actually have the league wrapped up by then, but then we can see where we're up to, and then we can move on from there. So again, we want to keep up our winning form once again to try and keep that gap above Fulham in the league table, as we just change that back again. So we remain 7 points clear. Obviously we secured promotion in the last game, which was great news, and we got them absolutely mental budgets. I mean, £55 million to spend for the first division is ridiculous amounts of money, and we will be improving the squad for sure, but I'm not entirely sure what kind of players we'll be looking for. We'll have to see who becomes available. As we get an early opportunity here with Sean Wright-Phillips looking for Gota in the centre, it's ended up cleared on that left-hand side by Luton. Jody Craddock manages to win the header though, and he finds Michael Brown who knocks it over the top looking for Wayne Bridge, who's wide left into the penalty area. He moves it inside to Sean Gota, he can't make the turn, but he finds Jason Kumas, who strikes from distance and is just over the crossbar. But a very positive start there in the opening quarter of an hour. Luton come down this left-hand side here with Scully, who whips it in. It's going to be cleared by Ashley Cole. Wayne Bridge couldn't quite get onto it, but Spring's header only found Jamie Pollock, and Wright-Phillips has made a good run forward here down this right-hand side. He moves into the centre. It's Sean Wright-Phillips, still going, and his strike is a little bit tame, and Kelvin Davis makes the save. As you can see there, Fulham have actually gone ahead against Bristol Rovers, so they have closed the gap to 5 points temporarily until we see what happens in our game. Hopefully we can get a goal to instate an advantage for us and restore that 7 point gap, sorry. It's been a reasonably quiet first half despite those early opportunities. We have got an opportunity now though with Vikings into Kumas in the midfield. Sean Wright-Phillips into Sean Gota, who's trying to move past the defender. Hughes gets it away. Only as far as Michael Brown though. Wright-Phillips into Pollock, and he's found Gota again. Back into Michael Brown, and Jason Kumas into the penalty area, and it's a very good save once again by the goalkeeper. It remains 0-0, and the pressure is just slightly growing here as we approach this set piece. It's going to be cleared away, well claimed by the goalkeeper, and Luton look to move forward. Scully couldn't get onto it. Rory Delap wins the header. Couldn't find Sean Wright Phillips. So Scully moves inside for Luton. Plays it forward looking for George. Vikings wins the header. This is Jason Kumas into Pollock. Vikings back to the left back Ashley Cole. Now Jamie Pollock again in midfield. Ashley Cole inside for Kumas. Sean Gota looking out wide here. Couldn't quite get it to Sean Wright Phillips. I think the ball was probably into Rory Delap at right back there, but he couldn't quite get it across. And Michael Brown's intercepted well there. Sean Gota into Jamie Pollock, who charges forward into Wayne Bridge here. Wayne Bridge manages to squeeze it in at the far post. It's in off the inside of the post. We have a 1-goal lead. It's a huge moment in this match, considering the fact that Fulham, of course, are still winning against Bristol Rovers, and we restore our point advantage at the top of the table. Here's McKinnon with the delivery with the free kick. Jody Craddock manages to head clear. Scully coming down the left-hand side. Whips it in, looking for George, and he's put it over the crossbar. He was actually offside, but obviously at the time he probably didn't know as such. It seems to have picked up towards the end of the first half here. It's got Rory Delap now on this right-hand side for City, moving it inside to Michael Brown and Jamie Pollock. Jamie Pollock out wide to Sean Wright Phillips. Jason Kumas looking over the top here, and it's fallen for Wayne Bridge. He has support in the centre. He decided to go alone, and it's blocked by Emerson Boyce, who clears away for Luton. And as we approach half time, we look like we're going to go in with a 1-goal lead. But right at the death here, we've got Pollock with a delivery to the far post, and it's bundled in the penalty area, and somehow it hasn't gone in. Wright Phillips latched onto the effort from Vikings, and then it fell for Gota, but it didn't quite go into the back of the net, and they managed to get it clear. A very positive first half, really, and hopefully we can continue in that vein for the second half. Sean Gota did take a knock in that first half, but he's doing okay at the moment. He has had a bit of a poor game. He's not had too many clear-cut opportunities to add to his scoring tally for this season. Just looking at that league table, by the way, playoffs are looking pretty much set with Stoke, Wigan, Reading and Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers are actually 8 points clear of Luton in those playoff places at the moment. So the fact that we're beating them could probably put an end to Luton's season in terms of playoff chasing. When you're looking at the bottom part of the table, York are already relegated. It's looking likely that Wrexham and Northampton are already down as well. Bournemouth, Chesterfield, Millwall, Wickham are all fighting it out at the bottom of the table to try and stay up. As Rory Delap here finds Sean Gota wide right, Jason Kumas has support at the far post. He looks for Wayne Bridge, who manages to get onto it, and Sean Gota was there to try and knock in the rebound, but Davis again making a very good save. We have got some players struggling for fitness again. We are going to look to make 1 or 2 substitutions. We're going to bring John Mackin on up front. We're going to bring Matt Hayward on wide right. We're going to bring Vikings. Oh, we actually haven't got a centre back on the bench, which seems a bit of a oversight. We're going to bring Ian Bishop on for Jason Kumas just because he's on a yellow card. And straight away, Kumas, just as we're about to bring him off with a strike there, it's gone just over the bar. It remains 1-0. And hopefully we look set to hang on to this 1-goal lead. Doesn't matter how you win, just that you do, and the fact that we're keeping a clean sheet is a big positive once again. And it looks set for a 1-0 win. Really happy with that. And we have maintained our gap at the top of the table from Fulham, who we actually beat 5-0 in a recent match as well. It was a brilliant performance. We absolutely battered them all over the pitch, and we got a good amount of revenge for the fact that they beat us 2-1 earlier in the campaign. So as you can see there, as we finish off for this episode, we've got a 7-point clearance at the top of the table. We've got 5 games remaining in the league. We've got a couple of tough games in there, but hopefully we can secure the league title, and we will come back to you for the end of the season, and I will go through my plans in terms of transfers. And I will quickly show you what games we've actually got left in the league as well. We've got a few tough ones in there, but I'm hopeful that we can manage to get through them without too much of an issue. Stoke, of course, currently 3rd in the league. That is our last game of the season. We've got Burnley, Blackpool and Walsall all at home. And in the middle of that, we've got Bournemouth away. Bournemouth, of course, fighting for relegation, so that could be a tough game in itself. Burnley, Blackpool and Walsall, I mean, they're comfortably in mid-table, those 3 sides. I can't imagine that they'll have too much to play for as we go further on into the campaign, but I think those 3 games are relatively simple ones, in my opinion. The Bournemouth one, I think, could be quite difficult considering they'll be fighting to stay up, and the Stoke one will be a difficult game anyway, because they could actually still finish in second place ahead of Fulham, but it would take a drastic drop in form from Fulham for Stoke to go up. But Stoke don't know what will happen, they have to win their games. So thank you very much for watching this video. This is Big Will signing away.